Good morning and welcome. It's Denise Powell, and we are doing the 52 weeks of scrapbooking. Today we are on project recipe 48. It is December 2nd, and thank you for being with me today. So let's take a look at my desk. Actually have this one done. So again, if you have the book, it's project recipe 48, Christmas charm. If you went to my Facebook page, Scrapbook with Denise, it is Christmas Spirit, which is what I have completed. You like how I journal, right? And this was done a long time ago. I have so much journaling to go back and do. I think my 2026 resolution should be to make sure that I journal when I do the pages, or at least put my title or something. So I did this one with Christmas Spirit. This is back from October 2020. We are going to need a border maker. This one was using the stockings, right? And then you're going to need 2 sheets for your base, 1 white cardstock, 1 patterned, and then you are going to need another cardstock and 2 other designer papers. So let me take this one out of the way. Did I actually do this one? No, you can see I actually got 1 extra photo here. Here it's only showing 2. I actually have 3. I only have 2 matted. Down here there was 3 3.5-inch photos that were a journaling box. I actually made 1 smaller one. This probably looks like a 2x3, and then a 3x5, and then I have a journaling box. And then the left hand side looks to be exactly, except that I put a picture instead of an embellishment cluster. So let's see what I'm going to use today. Let me get this out of the way, and we're going to be using Seaside. I want to keep the book handy because we're going to probably look at it again. So as I said, white cardstock, and I'm using Seaside and some Seaside textures. So I'm not doing Christmas. So I have my white cardstock for the left, and I have a patterned, and you can see in both of them they use a pretty well high patterned paper there. So I have that. I am going to use the cranberry cardstock, the same as it calls for in this one was scarlet. So both of these do. So I do have a cranberry cardstock, and then I have 2 designer papers that I'm going to use with that. Now again, the first thing we always do is compare to make sure there's no cutting differences. So it doesn't matter which one I use. Okay, that looks good. So let's get started. The border punch I am going to use today is the stars. Actually, it's sorry, it is a starfish. So we're going to use a starfish. We'll get our border maker system out, and we will punch 2 borders, A and B. Let me get that in here. So we will punch 2 borders. And always make sure you have your little feet on the outside so that you can see the picture. Otherwise your feet will get stuck and it will be hard to get it out. And you will punch 2 borders. I know here the starfish here are kind of like that sand color, but I think this will pop out more. It's okay. And then 1 more. And both of our borders are going to be going on the left-hand side. There is no border on the right-hand side. It's basically your pattern paper that is the hero, if we say, on that side. Okay, so 1 more. So how many of the 52 challenges have you completed? You can let me know in the comments, either here on YouTube or on my Facebook. Oh, this actually has a lot of really cool stars. Maybe I want to keep some of those little stars from in here. Put them up here so I don't lose them. Okay, we'll get rid of the rest. We are finished with our border maker system. Hope that you've been able to follow along. Remember to post them on my Facebook, Scrapbook with Denise Facebook page, so that I can see what you've completed. You can also post them on the Creative Memories virtual crop. Okay, so let's get our trimmer. And everything's falling around me. This one side is a little jagged where I punched. So I'm going to cut here at 4 1/4. 4 1/4 by 12, and then two of them, both C and D, are both 4 1/4 by 12. We have one, and I'm a little off. Please have to watch if you have your trimmer on top of your mats that it is level, right? That it's not off kilter, and make sure your foot is down that's under here. Otherwise, it kind of doesn't cut straight because you're cutting on an angle. Okay, so there's our two 4 1/4 by 12. We can put that away. Now my designer paper number 2, I'm going to use this dark. I'm not going to use that quite dark. I think I'm going to use this one. It's almost like a gray colored burlap. So it's going to be 4 inches. So we're going to cut E and F are both 4 by 12. And another one at 4 by 12. And then out of this last one, we have a 4 by 6. And this one is, H is only 5 1/2 here. And what is L? L is 5 1/2. They're both 4 by 5 1/2. So I will, you know what? I'm going to leave it 4 by 6. You know, I always change up the project recipes. We'll see if I need to cut that down after. Now let's go to our designer paper number 3. This one has like almost like a gray bamboo. I don't know what that is on the back. I'm using this side. It looks like sand. So these I and J pieces are going to go across the top. So it's kind of like, which way do I want to see this? I think I'll go this way. We have 2 that are 1 inch. So we have 2 1-inch pieces. And then the rest is mats. So we have K and L are, I'm going to cut them both 4 by 6 for now. The same thing as I did for G and H. And we'll see if we have to come back and cut off that 1/2 inch or if those work. So we have those 2 mats. And then we have 2 mats that are 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. So we'll cut those. And this piece is extra. And then we will rotate at 3 1/2 and 3 1/2. That's it. If we need an extra mat, we wanted one somewhere to mat. We have extra paper for that. And you can see in this one, I have 2 that I matted in white. These 2 are the patterned, but I matted all of the rest of them in white. So we do have at least 1 sheet left over that we can make another mat if we wanted. So let's take a look and see what we want to do. And I just, like I said, I have everything falling all over the place. Okay, we're going to put this away and let's get this page dry fit. So on the right hand side, basically we have piece D, which is our cranberry cardstock. It's going to go up around the bottom. Again, does it say us? Just follow the guides. To me, it looks like it's a little bit more than 1 inch, but let's see. Let's see what we have. So we have that one. Then we have F, which would be this darker one. So you're only seeing a tiny bit of that cranberry. If we wanted to, we could have paper saved and like just cut 2 1/2-inch pieces and attach them. We really didn't need this entire big piece behind here. I might go do that. We'll see. And save some paper. And the only other thing we have on this page is the 2 mats that were the 5 1/2. But if I actually bring this border down to 1 inch, I have room for leaving my mats at 4 by 6. And that's it for the right hand side. Now on the left hand side, we have these 2 1-inch strips, which are J, I think they're I and J. And then we have our 2 borders, and they actually this top one, and the reason the top one comes down is because it is stockings that are hanging, and they're hanging from this border. So depending on what type of border you have, if you want to do it like that with having a little bit of white, and then this one would be right on the top also. So we have those two, and then again we have our red strip of our cardstock. And again, we could have saved this almost this whole sheet if we would have cut just 4 1/2-inch pieces and mounted. We don't even need a half, you need like a 1/4 of an inch, but a 1/2 inch you could have just put underneath like we do paper saving on borders. And then we have these two down here, and this, oh, actually this piece butts right up against there. And then we have these two, this one goes right at the bottom, and we have our starfish, and then we have these two that are a little bit on an angle. And this is where we have now our mats. They only have one mat here and one mat here. Yeah, and the rest they have, these two photos are not matted. But again, like I said, we do have this piece left. So if you wanted to use this one or cut it down, you do have some more paper to use. But that was how simple this one was. We look at the embellishment clusters on these two, and I actually don't have any. I don't have any embellishments on mine other than the stocking punch. But on here you can see they have a little tag here. And I have an extra picture, right? So which is why I don't. They have a little cluster down here, and then this is where they have their journaling. And here's another little cluster. So they've got kind of two on this page. Now, I'm going to see, let me just go get my Seaside embellishments. So let's just take a quick look of what we could use for stickers and embellishments. I have so many packages of these stickers, but I found a mat that I could actually cut down to be 3.5 by 3.5 and have a little journaling mat there or up here. And then there are a lot of really nice stickers in here, or some here, she sells by the seashore. I still didn't even say it right. Got a scratchy throat, don't know why. And then embellishments, I like these ones. These ones are layered embellishments. I actually had gotten more of these when they were on a special because I really like these layered embellishments. And then the gemstones. So these would look really nice also, depending on, you know, what photos I put. So if we look on where, again, where they put embellishments, if I could find, right, we could have something up here, and then over here something small down here, which would go. So again, depending on what I use this page for, I have a lot of embellishments, and then again a lot of stickers that go with the shells that I could use also. So that was a pretty easy project recipe 48. Again, so I used a Seaside for the one that I did today, and then the one that I did prior, already in my book, was using the original Christmas Spirit. So again, if you complete these pages, I would love to see your completed pages and put those up in my Facebook, Scrapbook with Denise. Make sure if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that. It helps me get my numbers up. I'm getting there. Thank you all. And if you don't have a Creative Memories advisor, I would love to be your advisor. Please reach out to me. So happy scrapping. Have a great day. Bye for now.